in Colorado Springs. It's quite the matchup to come here on the 4th of July as the Switchbacks and Real Monarchs are preparing to meet at the new Widener Stadium. Haji Berry and Michi Galina are playing quite well off one another. Can they continue their scoring prowess before the real fireworks begin tonight? They've combined for 13 goals this season, while Monarchs, the 2019 champions, do return some remnants of that roster led by Noah Powder. We've got the Monarchs and Switchbacks when we come back. Happy Independence Day, everybody, and welcome into Widener Field. Today's match is presented by Phil Long. It's Colorado Springs taking on Real Monarchs out in the Mountain Division. Mike Watts and Gary Bailey. Gary, last time these teams met was in September last year, and it was a hotly contested affair all the way to the very end. Real Monarchs have won the previous meeting 4-1. But a look back at old Widener Field. Opening goal would come by way of a penalty in the 21st minute. This is Bodie Davis rather the finish.
Yeah, jumps on that ball, tucks it in the back of the net, does Bodie Davis. But couldn't hold on to it, could they? And Christian Valeski pops up in the 42nd minute.
And provides the equalizer from the spot.
This is the penalty you spoke about. Tucks it away in the corner, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, honors even. Will it be even tonight? We're going to find out soon.
Let's take a look at the lineups. The sides are very different from that time a year ago. The lineups are brought to you by Phil Long. Here's Brendan Burke starting 11.
Yeah, they've changed the midfield entirely. Out go Mayaka, Agita, and Andre Lewis. All did very well last game, but fresh legs in. Steven Echeverria, Makangila, and Jose Torres come in. And the same front three, Beckford, Galina, and the incredible Haji Berry.
Meanwhile, for Real Monarchs, there are some players with RSL contracts in this group. Jeff Dusnup is the goalkeeper. He's only 17.
You won't believe that the substitute goalkeeper Delgado is 14, but we'll get to that during the show. That's incredible. Yeah, out go Morgan at left back, and Flores comes in. Weehan's out, Portillo's out, Ibrahim Banse, and Malik Johnson. So 3 changes, same as the Switchbacks, same number of changes in that 4-2-3-1 shape with Martinez up front.
Well, we're ready to go here in Colorado Springs, and we hope you are too. The Real Monarchs made the trip over from Salt Lake City. We'll kick this one off, and our Independence Day marathon on ESPN Plus continues after this.
Fox 21's Craig Coffey, voted the Gazette's Best of the Spring's winner, morning TV anchor.
Colorado Springs playing host to Real Monarchs on this 4th of July. The player walkout sponsored by Children's Hospital Colorado. Players are already here. Monarchs are the 2019 USL Championship winners. Colorado Springs are suddenly in a hot run of form and moving up the Mountain Division from Widener Field in Colorado Springs. There's a bumping atmosphere for Brendan Burke's side that try and bounce back off a 2-0 defeat at the hands of Orange County last time out. Haji Berry stands over the ball and kicks us off on this 4th of July evening in Colorado Springs. And this stadium is quite nearly packed for a Four Corners Cup matchup. Mike Watts, former Man United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. Hard not to be excited the way Colorado Springs can attack, the way Real Monarchs can attack. It's whether or not we see it play out today.
Oh, you're 100% right there, especially with the switchbacks. They've been absolutely brilliant. Haji Berry's goal scoring is phenomenal. 10 goals and 3 assists in just 9 matches, and he's not on his own. Michi Galina has been stunning with 3 goals and 5 assists. Deshane Beckford. Going forward, they are brilliant, and even against Orange County, yes, they lost 2-0, but they had a ton of chances to have got something from that game.
Ball dumped forward and recovered here by Jeff Dusnup. Signed a Monarchs deal as a high school sophomore.
He became the youngest player in their history to sign up at 16 years of age. And within a short while, they signed 15-year-old Julio Benitez, who then became the youngest.
Barry teeing up Anderson. And now Anderson caroms out over the line. That'll be a goal kick. Hector Hernandez makes his first ruling of the day.
Dusnup just 17, you mentioned that. I mean, that's very young for a goalkeeper, but believe it or not, they have a 14-year-old goalkeeper on the bench, Fernando Delgado. There's young, and there's very, very young. He falls into the second category. Wow, he must be some talent to be ready to play at 14 years of age.
It's a pretty fascinating situation here for Real Monarchs. This ball rolled ahead, and it's Martinez. Martinez caroms this off of Melvin and gets cleared. Douglas Martinez scored 17 goals in 2019 in just 25 games.
That's a fantastic chance there for Martinez. He's through on goals. Melvin making the save, and give the goalkeeper credit, even though he misses that catch there. But you just wonder whether Martinez should have finished that off. I mean, when you're one-on-one with the goalkeeper, your teammates are expecting you to put them in the lead. And again, question marks about defense of Colorado. We know that going forward, Colorado Springs switchbacks are incredible, but they've got to keep it defensively tighter than that.
Abe Rodriguez is Melvin's backup. He's 18. Melvin and Andrew Pannenberg have featured in goal, so 3 different goalkeepers now through 10 games for Colorado Springs, which pales in comparison to the 5 goalkeepers who've seen time for the Monarchs. Here's Noah Powder. Drives the cross, steered away, but not entirely out. Barry steps in, and now cleared. So Dusnup is 17. Delgado has not featured yet. Andrew Putna and Zach McMath are both in their mid to late 20s. Spare a thought for Putna, 26. I just suggested that's late 20s. Anywho, Beavers and Slayton have played in goal as well.
Some early pressure here for the switchbacks to try and clear the ball from the corner, and they eventually got it clear, and they've had a one-on-one with the keeper. So credit Real Monarchs. You said they can both score, and you're 100% right, they can. And Real Monarchs on the attack early on.
Martinez. Problem for Monarchs, they can score, but they haven't shown quite the inclination to defend yet. Still -4 in goal difference at this stage. 2 wins, 5 losses, 4 draws. They're on 10 points. But a win here puts them out of the basement into 6th over San Antonio. They're 4 points from that mucked up water at the playoff line and 5 points from third.
You're right. I mean, if they get a win, they're right behind that playoff position. They might have played the odd extra game, but they'll be excited to know they're that close. If they lose, they start to drift away from any chance of a playoff. So massive match for Real Monarchs, and for Colorado Springs, well, a win and they go second, a point behind El Paso, and 3 behind leaders RGV, and they'll have a game in hand over RGV. So no question that Switchbacks are looking like the real deal. And in fact, Coach Brendan Burke saying that Orange County came and parked the bus, and he said when a good team come to you and park the bus and you have a ton of chances, even though you lose, you know that you're a decent side.
Beckford in on Powder. Beckford crosses all the way through. Spits out the other side.
That was close. That was a great ball into the box there, and an opportunity. It's been won at either end now for both sides. So I think we're in for a treat tonight. Nice attacking football. And I'm sure plenty of goals to go with it.
There's Daniel Flores, the 18-year-old fullback to throw here. It's Beckford again. That's Powder up to the task. No, Powder did score the third and final goal of Real Monarchs' championship victory against Louisville City in 2019.
And he scored the winning goal against New Mexico United in the last match, and that was one of the best goals I have seen for a long, long time. 35 yards out, he headed the ball, moved, it went up, down, left, right, and ended up in the top corner. And I don't think the goalkeeper had any chance of saving that.
This corner is brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, that's what I like. Corner Anderson. Header smashed wide. Let's talk about that win for a moment for Real Monarchs last time out. 3-2. Daniel Bruce and Andrew Tenari both score. New Mexico up 2-0 after 25 minutes. And then the comeback. Harris Briggs scored in the 54th. Justin Portillo, who's not with the side today, tallied as well. And then Noah Powder scores that worldie the tail end.
Oh,
quite a comeback.
What a great comeback, and it shows wonderful sort of guts, and I'm sure Jamerson Olave was super happy with that. Harris Briggs getting his first professional goal, so you know that's good for him. And you mentioned Noah Powder with the golazo of the season. That has got to be the goal of the season so far. I don't know how you top that. And Justin Portillo. So yeah, coming back from 2-0 down to win 3-2, that's going to make any coach happy.
Galena, that's a bit behind. Rare miscue between Galena and Barry. Bouncing toward Echeverria. Briggs pounding away up front. Michael Edwards takes over. Colorado Springs will actually go away to New Mexico this coming weekend rather, and then finally a little more structure to their schedule. Barry glides in, got a shot away.
Good chance there, Haji Barry. Does so well to cut inside. And once it opened up a spot there, I thought, and I'm sure his manager Brendan Burke thought he's going to hit target, at least make Jeffrey Dusnab work. See, this is the real ability, and to be fair, Kyle Adams shouldn't allow him inside like that. He gets the angle, just can't quite bend it into that far corner.
Makingila helps to dig that out. Echeverria. Barry had gone 7 consecutive games with a goal. You mentioned the season numbers, the outset, playing as well as any individual in the league at this point.
No question. 10 goals and 3 assists in 9 games. Absolutely brilliant. And some of those goals have been fabulous. 1 or 2 penalties thrown in, but not too many. But great finishes and great link up with Galena as well.
Makingila through. And this placed over the middle, it's totally whipped on. Still Barry saved off the line. Not sure Beckford can quite believe it that he didn't tap that home. He's looking to be emphatic about it.
Well, he emphatically missed it. Because it was a good chance there. Great work from Galina down the right-hand side. And you see Beckford come in, you're thinking that's got to be a goal. And he totally made a mess of it. And a player as good as Shane Beckford should finish those off. So Barry has a bit of a stab, can't get it through, but just can't quite figure out how, whether somebody got in Beckford's way or what happened. Let's have a look. This might tell us. Have a look. Good ball through to Galina. He does great to get the ball across. He totally messed that up. Wow, don't see good players like Beckford do that too often.
Well, you hate to say when it rains it pours, but coming off the shutout defeat at the hands of Orange County last time out, you can talk about parking the bus, but Colorado Springs, the first 20 minutes looked like world beaters. Missed their early opportunities at goals and never quite recovered after the goal by Orange County in the 19th.
That was that big 6'6" striker there's marking him with a header. But if you look at the stats from that match against Orange County, they had 2/3 of the possession. They had 25 crosses to Orange County's 10. They forced their keeper into 4 saves. They only had 2 saves to make. So yeah, you're right. The stats suggested they should have got more from the match. But maybe we're being a touch harsh. When they score that many goals throughout the season, there are going to be days when things don't work out. And as you say, it's continued into the first 10 minutes with a couple of really good chances that they haven't taken as yet. But Switchback fans, don't worry, there's still 80-odd minutes to come.
Beckford, electric. Taken away by Adams. Down the line. Martinez. Be a throw.
Just getting back to that Martinez chance early on. That really was a really great opportunity to put his team in the lead, not taken. The coaching staff trying to give advice.
Kind of funny, Jamison Olave, for as fiery as he was on the field, not really the loudest voice on the sideline. Just whipped in and away. And taken over here by Colorado Springs.
Good idea to switch play. Execution wasn't that great. That's what you want to do, move the ball from side to side, get the defense working across the pitch and stretching them and testing them.
Now, interestingly, Matt Glazer was the assistant coach to the Monarchs when they won the championship. There's talk about who would be a backup goalkeeper now that Matt Glazer has since moved on. The first name that came up was Glazer's, funny enough. He left Real Salt Lake, went over to Sacramento earlier this year. Now coaches under Mark Briggs. Counted him as one of his confidants, Real Monarchs, before he left Salt Lake City. Now the head coach at Sacramento. Collision there, free kick conceded to the Monarchs.
Yeah, that's in a dangerous position outside the box there. A little bit too tight an angle to shoot, but certainly you can whip it in and put it between goalkeeper and defenders and cause all sorts of problems. And Milan Noloski just getting himself set up to deliver.
This free kick scoring opportunity is brought to you by The Joint Chiropractic. We've got your back. Milan Noloski, the latest Noloski into the league. Brian in Orange County, Eric in Las Vegas. And this is an attempt to go for the near post.
Yeah, optimistic from there. No goalkeeper's going to leave you enough space to whip it in. Well, they shouldn't anyway, unless you catch them trying to come for a cross. Always think better to put it between keeper and defenders. And it forces you as a keeper to make decisions. And anyway, had a go. I think he's a real nice talent, this Milan Iloski. Seen him score a couple of wonderful goals. 2 goals against Sacramento Republic in that 2-0 win recently, and 1 against El Paso. Lovely touch on the ball.
Gila finds Anderson. Colorado Springs trying to reclaim the leading role in this game. Approaching a quarter hour. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, Brian Dunseth, and the brand new USL All Access. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, the UEFA Champions League. SiriusXM FC channel 157, and the SiriusXM radio, the SiriusXM app. Ball across, and Adams likely didn't need to do much of anything at all. Maybe didn't hear a shout from Duzna. More here through Galina. Galina crossing. Attempted a bicycle clearance. It's a bit makeshift. Anderson. The service is away. Galina again. And now the goal for Colorado Springs. He's made up for his earlier failure to score. It's Beckford.
That's Galina again, making the opportunities down the right-hand side at the very beginning, and then he knocks it across for Shane Beckford. And we said he's too good to miss many shots. He missed one slightly earlier, gets this one in the back of the net. Have a look, as this ball comes across, Galina, first time, whips it in. And that allows Beckford just to steer it into the back of the net. It's a great ball across, first time. Doesn't stop it and allow defenders to get set, and Beckford just guides it past Duzna, and they go 1-up as they deserve to be. They've had a number of chances, and this one they've taken.
Comes in the 17th minute after 2 years at RGV. You could argue he just victimized one of his former teammates in Kyle Adams, who was at Rio Grande Valley in both 2019 and 2020 while Beckford was there.
It's a battle now for the Real Monarchs, 1-0 down away from home. And I'll go back to that early chance from Douglas Martinez. Should have tucked that away, one-on-one with the keeper. Or maybe credit the keeper and say what a good save from Sean Melvin.
Melvin called in again here. Up to the task. Losky.
Just before that goal was scored, I was about to say something about Galina, because he's paced on that right-hand side. He's been skidding the defenders. Poor Daniel Flores, the 18-year-old, is having to deal with a quality striker, someone who probably should be in the MLS. That's how good Galina is.
Torres for Galina. Legs slid out from under him by Kevin Saucedo. By the way, that's goal 3 of the year for Deshane Beckford in his 7th appearance. To your point, I think Galina with a green card is in MLS. I think you always deal with those international spot issues.
His pace is phenomenal, and he's just ripping past defenders and getting balls into the box, and he's been doing that all season.
Anderson. Anderson knocked the goal off its bearings. Duzna flying off the post.
It's brave goalkeeping, kept his eye on the ball, going backwards, never easy. Crashes into the post, but never takes his eye off the ball to make a very important save. Anderson, such a good striker of the ball, set up a couple of goals for Haji Barry this season, whipping the ball into the box.
This corner kick is brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, That's what I like.
Pushing and shoving going on in the box as per normal. And Chaveria just getting in front of Dusnip.
Corner to the back post over Galina.
Galina's got there. I don't know if that was a planned free kick because a few bodies ran to the near post and then Galina stayed at the far post. But he's got there, maybe heading not his strength. He's got such incredible speed. That's what his gift is. But nonetheless, when you get a chance to head it, he could have made slightly better contact. Good pressure coming from the switchbacks.
You and I were talking a bit about the lineup changes that were made, and surely it was a tooth and nail kind of game last time out against Orange County, and there's still more here. Barry! There's blood in the water, and this stadium right now is roaring. They know.
They're so good going forward, the switchbacks. No wonder Orange County and others come here and park the bus, because if you have a go at them and leave yourself vulnerable, then Galina's pace and Barry's finishing and Beckford, they can tear you to pieces. So impressive.
Good win of the ball by Jose Torres as well.
Yeah, and I think you're about to say there were 3 changes for the switchbacks. After that hard match against Orange County, the entire midfield has been rested.
And you look at Andre Lewis especially. If he didn't run 15 miles, I'd be shocked.
He's been excellent, Andre Lewis. Torres is their first choice.
Here they go again. Barry, Galina, turning the back heel. Adams away. And Anderson was looking for the highlight reel.
Wow. Galina again, just causing absolute chaos down that right-hand side for the switchbacks.
But this is a team that expects you to empty the tank. It was that way for Brendan Burke in Bethlehem. It's certainly started to feel that way here. That's a cultural thing, and if you get rested, you'll come back next time at 100% and get after it again.
Yeah, because the other players rested. Philip Mayaka and Ronnie Arguita played so well.
Here they come again, stabbed home. That man is scoring again. It's Haji Barry.
That's incredible. What is that? That's 11th goal in 10 games with 3 assists. But to be fair, he was set up beautifully. He knows where to stand, he knows where to wait for the ball. But the movement of the switchbacks down both wings with Galina and Beckford, they're so quick, so powerful. Lovely ball here from Torres. Cross is going to come in from Beckford, and it's the perfect cross. The 3 of them up front, they link between each other so well. Beckford, Barry and Galina, and with Torres behind, just pulling the strings.
'22nd minute, Barry, after Beckford scored in the 17th. There was a massacre on a July 4th night about 4 years ago. LA Galaxy 2 were throttled by, I believe, 8 goals. And maybe the way Colorado Springs is starting, you feel like you're very much, this is sunken into the ground in downtown Colorado Springs. You feel like you're in a coliseum of sorts, and almost like Monarchs are being fed to the Lions.
It's tough for Monarchs because the last match against Orange County, as we've already said, switchbacks felt they could win it, perhaps deserved at least to get a draw out of it, and would have been incredibly frustrated. And of course, they're taking their frustrations out on Rail Monarchs, and what Monarchs have to do is be professional themselves. They haven't got too many kids in the team. Daniel Flores at 18, yes, the goalkeeper Dusnip, but the rest are early to mid-20s. They're mature enough to know how to handle difficult situations, and they're in a difficult situation now. They've got to get themselves on the ball, get possession, and get some control of this match.
Well, I did get some of that story wrong. We'll get to that in a moment. Leek Johnson's at war here. Came over from Tampa Bay Rowdies, Eastern Conference champion a year ago. This will deflect out. It was 9-0.
Wow.
Reno over LA Galaxy 2. It was 4-0 in 25 minutes. I was on Sirius XM hosting USL at the time. It was USL Coast to Coast. Skies into the air. Bouncing ball, and this is lifted to street level. We were updating the only game that was live in the league, and I'd have a producer say, Mike, it's the 3rd minute and Reno leads. Hey, Mike, it's the 8th minute. Dane Kelly just scored. But that was one of the youngest teams that's ever been fielded in this league from LA Galaxy 2. You can't say the same about this Monarchs team, but they're certainly not grizzled vets from front to back.
But they're certainly mature enough to be able to deal with this. Aris Briggs, we just saw him in the picture there, 24 years of age. When you're 2-0 down, you know that you're going to have to fight now harder than ever, that you can't allow the team opposite you to dominate you, that you have to get a little bit nasty perhaps, just to sort of slow things down. You've got to do what you have to do. And I'm waiting to see if Monarchs can do that.
Torres for Barry. Galena making the run. Tapped away initially by Saucedo, but it's not done yet.
It's that pace up front that kills you, that Galena on the one side, Beckford on the other. When players can run at you and run past you and leave you for dead, you're in all sorts of trouble. I don't think Real Monarchs have figured out how to deal with that as yet.
This will roll all the way out. You know, Gary, I did a lot of games at Old Widener Field, and I did the opener here. I'm not sure that the atmosphere for a soccer match in Colorado Springs has ever been better than this one tonight.
Well, they've got a wonderful team to support, and we've spoken to Brendan Burke a few times, and he himself said, look, I don't want to shout it from the rooftops, but we're serious contenders this year. And he's not overplaying his hand at all. In fact, he's underplaying it, because the way these front three are playing, you know, if you're Tampa Bay or Phoenix Rising, you're looking at this team going, wow, there's a serious problem coming up here down the line, you know, once we get to playoffs. So I think Brendan Burke has every right to feel very excited about the squad of players he has.
Sides on 17 points, a win today, and they are level with RGV atop the Mountain Division. And you could argue they didn't start all that well either. Boy, that is a winding run by Makangila to keep it here for Colorado Springs. And now played through once more, but Barry wasn't able to anchor it.
Look at the high press straight away from Switchbacks, and good on Real Monarchs to play through the press.
And now ahead, Douglas Martinez cutting this across. And there's one back. Aris Briggs has scored in 2 games running. And the Monarchs, a champion's heart, have pulled one back. It's now 2-1.
Well, we asked the question, didn't we? We said, are they going to fight back from 2-0? Have they got the ability to do it? The answer so far is absolutely yes. They played through the high press, got that ball down there. What's he doing free in the middle is my only question. You've got 2 centre-backs. One of them's got to be on Briggs, and he's left on his own. And when you're on your own with just the goalkeeper to beat, it should be a mere formality, and it was.
Briggs starred at Georgia State. 3 years there, twice the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year, and decided to come out into the 2021 MLS Super Draft, taken by RSL in the 3rd round. And Briggs has made it 2 goals from 2 games. He scored in the 28th here tonight, and in the 54th, the game-tying goal against New Mexico United last time out.
There's a question to ask there, Mike. You've got 2 centre-backs in Michael Edwards and James Oxford. Neither were anywhere near Briggs.
Ask Sean Melvin about that. It sure seemed like he felt left out to dry.
Well, he's going to be asking that question in the locker room in about 17, 18 minutes' time, because, you know, it's one thing if it's one centre-back, but neither of them were anywhere close to him.
That diagonal runs into the bleachers.
But Hummus and Olave will be happy. Brendan Burke certainly not. It was a 2-0. You want your team to go up and get a 3rd and kill off the opposition. But for Olave, his players have fought back, and he'll be delighted with their attitude.
Barry Makangila was in behind, and this is lifted away by Galena, who is offside. Torres got cleaned out at the end of that.
The referee waving play on, which is fair enough. Torres did take a big hit, and I don't know if the yellow card is going to come out for that tackle. Yep. Bansay goes in the book. And that's good refereeing. You wave play on, but you come back and still deal with the bad tackle.
Yellow card issued to Ibrahim Bonse. Caution sponsored by Diversis Health, mental health and well-being for all. Remember to take a moment to breathe.
Yellow card has been issued.
Bonse spent 2019 in Sweden, actually on the Burkina Faso full men's national team at this point.
He's got 6 appearances for the U20s of Burkina Faso. So a good, talented player. And whatever that score was, 9-0 against LA Galaxy 2, well, I don't think you're going to see that here today. And credit Real Monarchs for fighting back. Imagine if they'd have taken that chance in the opening minutes. Douglas Martinez, one-on-one with the keeper. But they've got themselves back in the game, and that's changed the atmosphere. Look, the white shirts are a reasonably high press now. They're positive. They're back in this match. Tails are up. I think if you're a neutral, you're set up for a fantastic game here tonight.
Makangila. Torres. Gary, you can see the forwards that are opposite the ball always being on the back shoulder of the defender and starting those runs, waiting to begin ahead of a potential long diagonal. Galena, that'll carry him off the corner flag.
Yeah, and that's been one of the messages to Matt Mahoney on the left-hand side, in particular to Anderson on the right-hand side, is try and play those balls down the line for Galena, for Beckford, get them behind the defense, because once they're behind, all they have to do is square the ball and Haji Barry will finish it off.
Corner, header, goal! It's another for Colorado Springs. Michael Edwards.
Yes, there you go, set piece, and he's so happy, Brandenburg, to see that. Question marks about Real Monarchs. You cannot leave or allow someone to get in front of you at the near post, which Edwards does, and he gets it past the goalkeeper. Lovely ball in from Anderson. And have a look there, he beats all those white shirts, gets it past Dewsnip in goal. Great set piece by Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and they've got their 2-0 cushion, or 2-goal cushion back again.
First pro goal for Michael Edwards. Make no mistake, when Brandenburg said it, he immediately tempered the expectations that he was setting. But he said a lot of Michael Edwards' traits mirror McKenzie, who's now playing with the U.S. national team. Mark McKenzie was a player that Brandenburg coached at Bethlehem in his borderline professional infancy. And he said, look, a long way to go. But when you have those traits, if you have a coach who can help pull that out and a player who's willing to work for it, there could be something really special there. The winding run was cut out.
Yeah, you must be upset if you're Hamilton Olave. Your team's just fought itself back to a 1-goal difference at 2-1. They started playing well. They were high pressurizing or high pressing. And then from a set piece, and we've always worked, you always work on the basis that you never allow the opposition to get in front of you at the near post. And in this situation, they haven't done their job, Real Monarchs.
Lasky sent the cross. And Hamilton Olave was among the best defenders in MLS for a long time. At the Monarchs, came over to Red Bulls later in his career. Service here won't test Melvin directly, but there's still more. And Malik Johnson will not have this dance with Sebastian Anderson.
That's borderline yellow card. He might just get a telling off from the referee, Mr. Hector Hernandez. But you can't be grabbing players and bringing them to the ground like that. He's going to call him over.
believe this is about to be a lesson in humanity. It's not one Malik Johnson's particularly interested in taking at this point.
Have a look at it again. It's a grab. I mean, some referees will give you a yellow for a grab, some will give you a warning, which Hector Hernandez is doing. But he's basically saying to Malik Johnson, anything else now, and you will end up in the book. You're on, you're on probation, so to speak.
Malik Johnson came out of Toronto FC, spent some time TFC2, and then into the Rowdies, and was such a perfect fit as a wing-back in that three-back set. Got Guillen and Scarlett, and then Forrest Lasso in the middle in Tampa Bay, and he was a really good option getting up and down for the Rowdies the past few years. Makes the move out here to Real Monarchs now. Well, Torres thought he was played through. Brown.
Trying to get the ball wide there to Martinez, and to be fair, he had the best chance in the first few minutes, and he has the assist. He really has been a danger man and the main point of attack for Real Monarchs. So it does make sense to try and get as much ball to him as possible.
Powder. This will run all the way to Melvin, who firmly grabs that wonderfully stitched together ball. Let me tell you more about it. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com.
See a bit of movement up front for the Switchbacks. You've got Haji Barry on the right now. You've got Beckford in the middle, Galina on the left. The three of them just play so well. They move around. They have this understanding, and that's why they're such a handful for opposing defenses.
Well, after all the rain early, the sun now is blaring through. This lashed into the concourse.
Yeah, a little bit of a waste of possession there. Instead of trying to bend the ball in and trying to do something useful, Douglas Martinez tries an almost impossible shot from a tight angle when maybe a cross into the box would have been a better option.
Came out to Malik Johnson and now Briggs. Johnson. Fans, the USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe, welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. You can learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Edwards feeling himself today. The goal in the 32nd, that's a fine challenge, and now the whistle that will draw a card for Kevin Saucedo.
Got to be careful here, Real Monarchs. Got two players on yellow cards already. You don't want too many, because just a late tackle by one of those two players, and then it's a second yellow and you're off. So you are sort of treading on eggshells for the rest of the match.
Yellow card issued to Saucedo, sponsored by Diversus Health, mental health and well-being for all.
Sam Brown having a discussion, trying to plead with the referee, but Hector Hernandez having none of it.
Now you can see the referee with a yellow card. If the athletic trainer were to come, theoretically you could remain in the game because of the cautionable offense, but he's saying it's a potential head injury. That's a whole different ball of wax.
And he seems very good. The referee's explaining what's going on. He's letting everyone know, and yet he's very firm. So super impressed with Hector Hernandez.
So we will continue to keep an eye on that.
Just looking at goals scored now, Switchbacks have scored 20 goals. There's only a handful of teams who have scored more than that. One of those being Phoenix Rising with 25, Louisville with 21. And that's it. Only 2 teams have scored more than the Switchbacks this season. Wonderful, wonderful attack. And they are going to continue to give Real Monarchs a tough time with that high press. They force this turnover ball, and the midfield then picks it up, and they come back at you again.
Mocking Gila, mocking the defense. Barry mocking Gila. It's away, but only momentary. Dancing over the ball, Galena.
Anderson looking for options, but all the defenders are behind the ball. Real Monarchs, I think that's how you have to play Colorado Springs Switchbacks. You've got to get everyone behind the ball. You've got to deny them space. If you attack them and leave space with the pace they have, they'll hurt you. And maybe again, that's why Orange County parked the bus, and credit to Orange County. That was probably the right tactic to use. Well, clearly was. They won 2-0.
Torres launching, header back across, the net was empty. Duznup covers a ton of ground. Barry won't get there. Still for Torres, taken by the Monarchs, but they've turned it back over.
Pressure's relentless.
Gila.
Not giving Real Monarchs a chance to breathe here. As they start to play out, they get turnover ball, they close you down the edge of the box, they come at you again. Make it so difficult for Real Monarchs, and I guess for most teams that are going to play here, and the crowd are absolutely loving it at the moment. Makangila there as well, hunting around the edge of the box, trying to take ball off any of the Real Monarchs players who are playing through the lines.
For Beckford.
Idea was good, wasn't it? First time ball to Haji Barry. Just didn't quite come off. What I like about them are these first time balls. They move it quickly. They don't give you as a defense time to get yourself set. The first goal, Galena, first time ball in the box to Beckford. And there we saw Beckford doing exactly the same to Haji Barry.
Anderson.
At least they dealt with the near post ball that time, Real Monarchs. I guess they learned from the previous situation.
Anderson again. Sometimes it just feels like they're pelting the penalty area, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's so tough to defend against, but that's what you have to do, is get bodies back and defend, and then when you get possession, you bring it forward. I think Real Monarchs are throwing too many bodies forward. They're leaving gaps at the back, and they're taking advantage of it, the Switchbacks. But I guess having said that, I get the alternative argument is you're 3-1 down. How do you get back into this match? And the danger is if you attack, you're going to go 4-1 down, 5-1 down, and that's not what Real Monarchs want. So interesting to see tactically how Emerson Olave sets his team up for the second half.
Johnson was offside. The crowd roars here for Melvin.
It's a lazy offside, Malik Johnson. You can see right down the line. You can see every defender. He knows exactly where he has to be to stay onside. And that's tough on the midfielders. They work so hard to create that opportunity on the edge of the box. And Malik Johnson just loses concentration for a moment and gets caught offside.
Must warm your heart. I think they just chanted Melvin's name.
Yes, of course. Goalkeeper's the most important player on the pitch in any team. Didn't you know that?
Only when you tell me. Barry played through expertly. Haji Barry get through that time. It's good from Saucedo.
Okay, very clever the way they move around up front. You know, what will happen is Galina will pull them one way, then Barry will be the winger for a moment, and he's dragging centre backs all over the place. It's so difficult to know, where to go as a centre back. Do you follow Hadji Barry out and you leave a big gap in the middle? And if you don't, then he's going to get the ball and turn and come at you. That's what good attackers do. They ask lots of questions of you. Referee having a word. This is getting a little bit chippy for a moment. I think he's warning some of the players just to keep their cool.
Stoppage time is brought to you by TikTok Shop, 1 added minute. At halftime, we'll take a look at some hand-selected highlights from around the league. Can you select them?
Hand-selected? What, you point your finger at which one you want?
And we'll take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship, as well as first half highlights. So don't go anywhere here at the half. Johnson withstood the challenge. Good run forward by Edwards. He's totally unimpeded now. He's got options percolating. It's Edwards. He overran himself a bit, but still now, if you're Beckford.
That's a poor ball in from Beckford. What a good run from Michael Edwards. Give him credit. As a centre-back, what you look for are centre-backs that are comfortable playing out of defence. Well, he looks super comfortable there and strong, powerful, head up, was looking for options. Yeah, Deshane will want that one back because he's a better player than that. Should have put the ball into a danger area instead of out of play. But again, just looking at Michael Edwards at 20 years of age, we've seen him score a goal from a near post situation. Very, very good player going forward. Spent some time with the Wolfsburg Youth Academies.
Halftime. 3-1 Colorado Springs.
Yeah, important halftime for the Real Monarchs. They need to get themselves organised at the back there and try and figure out how to deal with that man, Hadji Barry, and Mishi Galina, and Deshane Beckford. But happy times for the home crowd. They've been given some great entertainment here in this first half.
Halftime is presented by Centura Health. We'll take a look around the league and get you caught up on some of the highlights, as well as the many highlights from this one. It's a very festive atmosphere, from Ziggy to the players, to the coaches, to the fans. 3-1 Switchbacks over Monarchs at halftime.
The Colorado Springs on-tap craft beer passport is back. That's right. For $20, you can enjoy a flight of craft beer from each participating brewery. Just go to fox21news.com, click on Features, click on Deals, and purchase your craft beer passport. The Colorado Springs on-tap craft beer passport. Purchase yours today. Matt Meister, voted the Gazette's Best of the Spring's Winter TV weather anchor.
Today, our quaint little town becomes a really big deal.
We have to fight back. They're $1 billion corporation, and we're
not.
I care about the people in this town.
People seem excited.
With all of the mining stuff, if they want to play dirty, I'm all in.
The Republic of Sarah, new series premieres Monday, June 14th, only on the CW.
that was Mike Gonzalez's kid.
Welcome back to halftime in Colorado Springs. Very busy 4th of July weekend around the USL Championship. We've cherry-picked a little bit, but we've decided to bring you some of the best highlights of the weekend that was. And we begin with Kansas City taking on Louisville City in the Central Division. Gary, we're going to start in the 5th minute of this. Kyle Gregg grew up in Kansas City, and he scores in Kansas City.
Yeah, good assist from Bone. Puts it right where he needs it on his right foot there. Gets a nice early touch, back of the net.
And then Roger Smith responds. That's brilliant.
That is brilliant. Going backwards, it's so difficult to head that into the corner. Fantastic goal.
57th minute, Brian Ownby all alone. So nice we'll look at it twice.
He sets himself up the little back heel and bends it around the keeper. That's right in the top corner. That's a fantastic finish.
And inside of an hour, Ownby helping to create as he has so many times. Alexi Sawahi is available. Knocks that into side netting. Louisville City wins this one 4-2. Sacramento Republic, San Diego Loyal. This was the game on ESPN2 yesterday. We go straight ahead to the 62nd minute. Ball across, Herzog diving header.
A brave header gets in there. Determined, lovely ball in from Ibarra, but it's a fantastic header. San Diego looking fantastic.
San Diego 7 unbeaten. They're up 1-0 in stoppage time. Carlton Belmar.
No, you can't do that. 93rd minute, Tainter gets in there and wins a brilliant header and wins it fairly as well. But come on, guys, 93rd minute, you've got to stop the cross from coming in.
And then, late last night, Phoenix taking on LA Galaxy 2. The wind was so bad that if you looked at the lights, you saw all the sand and dust up in the air. Opening goal comes from Tate Schmidt, former Monarchs player.
Yeah, back of the heel, that's fantastic skill there from local boy Tate Schmidt.
And then Solomon Asante, who missed a gorgeous opportunity in the first half, makes no mistake here.
First touch, second touch, it's pure genius the way he brings that ball down. Absolutely kills it. Stone dead, moves it, beats the keeper, scores again.
They call Maxi Morales the little genius, but Solomon Asante not far off the mark. And Santi Moar bags a goal here late. He's all alone. I mean, come on. Here we go. Play the music.
And the finish. And the wait for it. Oh, brilliant. But what's the last defender doing? You can't afford to lose the ball there. Santi Moar makes him pay.
Moar pulls the curtain down, came up immediately thereafter, and Phoenix wins it 3-0 over LA Galaxy 2. Meanwhile, tonight's honorary healthcare family of the game is the Bailey family. Josh Bailey is a proud Centura Health partner of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks and serves Penrose St. Francis Health Services as VP of Philanthropy. Thank you for all you've done to help our community throughout the pandemic. The healthcare family of the game is co-sponsored by Encore Electric, along with Olson Plumbing and Heating. Got plenty more coming up here from Colorado Springs after these messages.
Hey everyone, this is Oscar Jimenez from Louisville City FC.
Hi, my name is Carl Howarth. I currently play for the Indy 11.
What's up everybody? It's Connor Sparrow with the Miami SC.
Josué Soto checking in here. Austin Bold FC.
Hello guys, this is Luis Herrera from El Paso Locomotive. Just wanted to share with you guys my favorite soccer moment, and that would be the day I made my professional debut for El Paso, which is my hometown.
Anderson swings it in. Barry making the run, gets a deflection. He puts it in. Colorado Springs has its lead. And the save from Cardoni. It's there, and Cardoni with a huge save. Beautiful ball through, and that's in. Brilliant.
Today, our quaint little town becomes a really big deal.
We have to fight back. They're $1 billion corporation, and we're
not.
I care about the people in this town.
People seem excited.
With all of the mining stuff, if they want to play dirty, I'm all in.
The Republic of Sarah new series premieres Monday, June 14th, only on the CW.
Halftime is presented by Centura Health. Switchbacks 3, Monarchs 1. It's not the thin air, we know that. But these two sides have gone absolutely berserk in the first half. Mike Watts, Gary Bailey. Let's take a look at news and notes from around the USL Championship and get you caught up. The USL on ESPN yesterday, and again in 2 weeks' time, July 17th. These Switchbacks will welcome San Antonio FC to the new Widener Field. Good to see Sebastian Velasquez and Brandon Allen back into the league. But I think the fact that Obregon is on the Honduran Olympic team and 16 players from the league are going to the Gold Cup qualifying.
It just shows you the talent that's in this particular league, the USL, and top-class players playing the Gold Cup and Olympics. Great to see them. Wish them good luck. Hope it's a wonderful tournament for them all.
Let's take a look at the standings and remind you where the Mountain Division stands right now. Colorado Springs could make a jump up here into third place, and they still have games in hand to catch RGV.
They do, yeah. They'll have that one game in hand should they win this, and if they win that, they'll be level with RGV, and that's where they want to be and where they should be. To be fair, they've had a fantastic season, just one or two little blips here and there, but I think they're growing in ability. That's a good thing for Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Real Monarchs, yeah, a win takes them just behind the playoff spots, but a loss, and they're stuck right down there at the basement, and they'll start to drift away from a playoff spot.
There are some results from around the league this weekend. We're closing out this party. Friday, Red Bulls and Miami finish level in the Atlantic. The Rowdies continue Charleston's up and down start to the season. The Riverhounds have found their form now.
Yeah, they certainly have. There's a slow start for Pittsburgh to this season, but as to be expected, they start to really get going in the middle of the season, looking good. El Paso, great win there over New Mexico United, who've dropped a few points recently. New Mexico United, a couple of losses for them. Las Vegas Lights, they could still find themselves in the playoff position if they keep racking up the 3 points.
Steve Cherundolo is starting to get that right, the side now affiliated with LAFC. Got plenty more coming up here in the Centura Health halftime. 3 switchback goals. Monarchs pulled one back as well. Highlights and more when we return.
The Colorado Springs On Tap Craft Beer Passport is back. That's right. For $20, you can enjoy a flight of craft beer from each participating brewery. Just go to fox21news.com, click on Features, click on Deals, and purchase your craft beer passport. The Colorado Springs On Tap Craft Beer Passport. Purchase yours today.
Centura Health halftime. 3-1 Switchbacks over Monarchs. Mike Watts and Gary Bailey for the call on this 4th of July. From both of us and our entire team to you, we hope you're having a very great Independence Day. Here's Centura Health halftime highlights. We got this thing cooking at the very beginning, didn't we?
Galena with the ball in there first time, and Beckford beautifully just steers it into the corner, gives us the dance afterwards to show that he's delighted. He had a great opportunity that he whiffed on, so fantastic that he gets this one in the back of the net.
Skip ahead, and down the line again come Colorado Springs. Haji Berry back on the score sheet for call it the 8th time in 9 games.
His coach gives him applause. Beckford just perfect timing, waited and waited for Barry and gives him the ball right in that 6-yard box for him to finish as he does in style.
And in the 28th minute, Monarchs get one back. Douglas Martinez streaking all alone. That's a tap-in for Briggs.
For Briggs, unmarked Briggs, by the way, in the middle of the box. Where the centre-backs were, I don't know, but Martinez out wide. Brilliant assist.
And felt like Monarchs were getting back into this. No, Edwards.
Edwards with a very good header, lovely ball in as well, but shocking defending at the near post there. And they've got their 2-goal lead back, 3-1 to the home side.
If you're Colorado Springs, you certainly hope that Monarchs continue to try and attack here, rather than go into that defensive block we saw last time out from Orange County. But with Monarchs making significant changes, it's frankly difficult to get a read.
Yeah, I think it's a good tactical point there, and one that I'm just waiting to see how Jameson Olave's asked his team to set out for the second half. I do think it's better to get behind the ball and deny the switchbacks space.
The entire brain trust for the Monarchs is huddled together right now on the bench. Jameson Olave surrounded by his assistants. We are underway in this second half, and Monarchs, the ones leading the way right now. Douglas Martinez crossing for Briggs. Substitutions are brought to you by the William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblecenter.org. Sobowale's come in, replaces Flores, one of the 3 changes. Quintero will replace Malik Johnson as well. And Charles Weehan will replace Bonse. Corner for Monarchs, and it's speared up into the air, and Melvin goes over hanging off the crossbar. See the sub there, Weehan for Bonse. Substitution brought to you by the William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblecenter.org.
That's a lot of changes to make at half-time. 3. Flores, I get the young man at left back was getting skinned by Galena for most of that first half, but 3 changes? Wow, that's positive from Jameson Olave.
This is Iloski curling the cross. Beckford swept that into the path of the on-rushing attack. Galena slows, steadies, lays this through for Beckford. Long run. Beckford unable to get the touch that would have sent him clear of Dusnup.
Dusnup just getting there in time. The 17-year-old goalkeeper. Perfect timing for him. Read it. Got himself there. But again, if they're going to leave that space at the back, Real Monarchs, I think they're going toe for toe here. They're going to just slug it out and see if they can get themselves back in the match. Positive approach, but a risky one.
Weehan lays off. About the fact that both Charles Weehan, as this is recovered by Quintero, and Milan Iloski both have brothers playing right now for Orange County.
It helps when your brother plays and teaches you the game as you're growing up. Good advantage to have.
However, you do have to wonder what Monarchs versus Orange County is like around the Iloski house and the Weehan house.
You're fine.
Rolls back to Sean Melvin. Bouncing into space, Echeverria looks in, and a throw for Iloski. Real Monarchs will host El Paso at altitude in Salt Lake City, then go away to Austin, host Las Vegas, away to El Paso. So you could argue that they're getting teams at a bad moment in time over and over again. Galena rolled over by Barry, Echeverria. Beckford, Barry!
just wide, Barry. Didn't quite catch that ball, didn't have enough pace in it nor direction, but this is a danger in throwing bodies forward. There's space for the Switchbacks to play in, and when you give them space, they're likely to hurt you. And it all started with Galina down that left-hand side with acres to run into. So again, a risky sort of way to set up the team, Hammerson Olave, but credit that he's positive enough to say to his players, go on, go and show me if you can get back in this match. Of course, the flip side is it could be a 5 or 6-1 drubbing if they're not careful.
And what surprised me was Monarchs is a team that so often defends as a team well. Barry sends that curling off target, and there was no supporting defenders coming back. It allowed multiple passes atop the 18 with no pressure at all.
Very risky, but let's wait and see if it pays off or not.
Is this one where you try and nick a goal here in the first 5-10 minutes of the half, get it to a 1-goal game, and maybe reconsider your options?
Yeah, you could do, but it seems like he's setting it out to keep playing like this. Oh, Galina's pace again. But they would have seen Orange County, the previous match. You would have seen how they got a victory here at Widen the Field. But they've decided they're going to play it differently, and credit to Real Monarchs. Sometimes, of course, that's dictated by the senior team, how you play in these situations. And maybe it was just for the first few minutes. Maybe they will drop deeper from now on.
Beckford rolling through the legs of Torres. Turned over. Edwards. Edwards! Crossed all the way through and out.
That's brilliant. Coming from a centre-back, that is great skills on the edge of the box, but not allowing Real Monarchs to breathe as they try and play out, jumping on these balls. Bad ball to give as well. Credit Edwards for reading it. But Real Monarchs, you can't give the ball away on the edge of your box like that, especially against a team as good as the Switchbacks.
And I want to say it was Galina last game who sent a similar cross from a similar point at Haji Berry, who was almost exactly on that spot. It ricocheted off his chest and out the other way. Berry this time was, what, a foot away from making it 4-1? Foot unit of measurement. Not that that's entirely, that's a bit foreign to you, Gary.
I've learned, used to be meters and centimeters, but I've learned feet and inches.
Galina. Galina whips that back, and this will deflect away. Ockford. That Echeverria up there.
Galina again, just phenomenal. The pace. In fact, there's a little tug on his shoulder. If he'd have gone down, just there, that could have been a penalty, but he doesn't. He keeps going. Deflection off Kyle Adams eventually. That combination of Galina, Haji Barry, and in that case, Echeverria. Oh, fantastic.
This corner kick brought to you by McDivitt Law Firm. We are in your corner. Looking down at my sheet here, I'm giving Jimmy Ockford, a center back, credit for Echeverria getting forward, seeing a 5 and a 3 and mixing those up.
It's amazing that you're able to see so many of these players at a quick glance. Often takes me a while to figure out who's where.
Sadly, me too.
No, it doesn't. Exciting for the neutral crowd here, because the Switchbacks are still going for it at 3-1. Real Monarchs are trying to go for it as well. It really is an exciting game. I think people have had wonderful entertainment so far, and I'm guessing there's still plenty more to come.
Gary, is there an element of the atmosphere is good? This is turned over. What a collision. That's a clean tackle. Looked like Monarchs could have been off to the races, and this may turn the other direction entirely. Galina's running in behind. Galina. Well, apparently kept that in. I don't even think he believed it. And that's sent into the bleachers. When there's such a buzz in the stadium, you almost get drawn into playing this way.
It's true, and when you've had over a year without many people in the crowd, or nobody in the crowd, in fact, it must be super exciting for the players. I mean, I think we've realized just how wonderful these crowds are in the last year. We knew beforehand as players and coaches and commentators, we knew that. But when you take them away for a year, it's just, the game wasn't the same. I mean, that's an understatement. It just had very little buzz to it. Oh, a bit risky there. Want to play that out the back from Shaw Melvin. But yeah, the crowd come back and suddenly we're alive, we're excited, the fans are playing their music, and I love the fact the players go and salute the crowd after every match. That's what you should do, because we now know how invaluable they are to soccer.
Torres for Galena. Stab back, Mahoney will allow Makingila on the ball, and now played through. Plenty of contact, referee had a look and certainly says to continue on. Makingila quickly into this challenge, and he's committed a foul.
Sam Brown doing well not to lash out there. He took a few kicks in the back of the legs, and that's why the referee's saying to Makingila, just take it easy. You're allowed to, tackle for the ball, but you can't push and shove and kick the player in the same moment. But when you're a player like Sam Brown there and you're being pushed and kicked, you can't lash out. It's instinctive sometimes, but it's going to get you into trouble if you do.
He would never do that. He's a cultured man. Sam Brown's a Harvard man.
Oh,
yeah, indeed.
Okay.
Tripping away here. It was funny at the start of the year. Brendan Burke said, Makingila trying to get the rub of the green a little bit at the beginning of his tenure in San Diego, and maybe struggling to either grasp the system or get to the speed of play that they were looking for. Certainly the midfield for San Diego this year drastically different in how they're constructed than a year ago. Martinez will slip this ahead. The effort to get the cross through was denied initially. Bounce toward Torres. But Landon Donovan and Brendan Burke spoke about it, and he said, look, I really wanted another year or two with Makingila, because he saw a lot in that young man. Well, Makingila is only 21 years old.
He's got an excellent future in the game, and I think as a manager you can't hold on to every player, especially in the USL. There's a big turnover, and you have to let good players go sometimes if they feel the need to move on. And you've got to look to the next player to fill in the gaps. As a manager, you're forever focusing on your first team, but you've already got a replacement for every player in mind should they decide at the end of the season that they want to go to greener pastures.
In the case of Makingila, 6 games a year ago for San Diego, and already this year he's closing in on that mark. More minutes than a year ago.
Talking of players moving around, what makes it all more difficult for Real Monarchs is coming into this match, they'd used 35 players already this season. So lots of chopping and changing and different tactics and different lineups. And already in this match, they've made 3 subs at halftime. So you get used to the player next to you, and next thing you find it's been changed, and you've got to, figure out where for Timmy Sobowola fits in, for example, and Charlie Wien and where he stands.
Look at this strike and an excellent save, Dusnap.
Nice from Dusnap, pushes it away from trouble.
It was Anderson who unleashed.
Again, just on the edge of the box, they've got so much possession. Haji Barry pushes it wide. Anderson, lovely striker of a ball. The goalkeeper reads it well and pushes it away from trouble. Doesn't push it into oncoming strikers. Dusnap pushes it away so that nobody can follow up the loose ball.
Here's Anderson. Ball across is cleared away on the corner kick, brought to you by Pikes Peak National Bank. Bank well, be well, cheer loud. Torres, that was ill-fated from the start with the ricochet.
Get the ball back so quickly, switchbacks. Their pressure on the edge of the box is fantastic.
Barry cutting this back.
Here we go again. Possession once more. A nice little bit of skill there.
This is not Torres' first rodeo. Capped for the U.S. 26 times. Jose Torres grew up in Texas. And his humility, his hard work, the way he leads in training has fit in perfectly with this good mix of a core. Ball across is punched away by Dusna.
Turnover ball again.
Makingila.
I'm sure that's something that Jamerson Olave is going to sit down with these players and look back at this match over the next couple of days and say, guys, you kept on giving the ball away. They haven't been able to get out. I want to see how this goes here, but it's time after time that they get the ball, they get closed down, they try and play it, they lose control of the ball, and then at them come, there they go, lost possession already, at them come the switchbacks, and they do it so well, the switchbacks, and they do it with pace. Look at the space in which they can play.
And look, every player has an individual why you're playing. Beckford. Galena took the contact. He goes down. It was all ball. Now to Oloski. But if you're the Monarchs, the intent is to bring players into Real Salt Lake. Martinez curling. Wow, Melvin. Full extension onto his stomach to get one fist on it with Briggs breathing down his neck.
That was fantastic goalkeeping, not just for the bravery to get in front and punch it clear, but for reading the situation. He glanced to his right, Sean Melvin. You saw that Briggs had got ahead for the second time in the match. Remember, he's already scored from leaving the centre-backs behind in the first half. The goalkeeper sees it and decides, if my centre-back has let him go, I've got to get in front of him. And with that, sprints out, dives bravely, knows that he might get kicked in the back of the head, and gets the ball away from danger. 3-2, this is a different game. Thanks to Sean Melvin, it stays at 3-1.
But for Colorado Springs, yes, these players have big ambitions. Galena, chief among them. Galena wants this run too far. Let's go back to the opportunity here for Monarchs.
You can see Briggs was waiting there, and I think Michael Edwards was trying to get back, but I don't know if he would have got there in time, and Sean Melvin couldn't take that risk. Excellent reading of the game by the goalkeeper, and real bravery to put his body and his head in particular on the line.
Ockford, brilliant. And now he's been totally strung out. And the way his head hit off the ground, Oloski and Ockford both got the wrong end of that. Wow.
That was tough from Oxford. The first tackle, I think, is a fair one. Have a look here. Gets the ball, and unfortunately, down goes Milan Oloski. But the second one, he gets fouled, Oxford, and he gets up. Doesn't make too much of a meal of it. And we just hope that Milan Oloski is okay after this.
This injury stoppage is brought to you by Centura Health. Ockford is back up, and Oloski grimacing on the ground.
It's good centre-back play there by Ockford to win that first tackle and to get the ball on the second one and win the free kick. There's a discussion going on. 3-1 there in a fairly comfortable position, but concede one and then suddenly you've got yourself a battle on your hands. So they'll know, the switchbacks, that they've got to be very, very tight and careful and organised at the back. And they also know that in any one moment, Haji Berry, Shane Beckford or Mishi Galena can pop up and score the fourth.
Ockford was a second-round pick of Seattle, now on his 8th pro team since being drafted in 2014. So in theory, a bit of a journeyman. But when you talk to coaches in Reno, in Nashville, in Louisville, and now in Colorado Springs, you get the feeling they view him as irreplaceable. He's just a bit of a rolling stone, I suppose.
A committed player, as we saw in both those tackles. Oloski having to leave the pitch because he had to get treatment. Good to see that he's up on his feet, the 21-year-old. Saying he got pushed. I can't see the push. I thought it was just a 50-50 tackle.
And Olowski is allowed back in. Olowski, part of the first family of UCLA Bruins soccer. Whoa, another one. And that'll come with a card. Olowski was down a moment ago and quickly got stuck in. The yellow card issued to Milan Olowski. Caution is sponsored by Diversus Health. Mental health and well-being for all. Remember to take a moment to breathe.
You've got to pick your time for retaliation. We all like to retaliate when we get hit, but the skill is to know when.
He did. It's as he comes off.
No. Well, you should wait a little moment or two before you do that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because he was coming off, he thought he had to get it in quickly.
Now or never. Substitutions brought to you by the William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblcenter.org. Bodie Davis has come on. He scored against Colorado Springs last time these teams met in September. You think he knew his number was on the board when he did that?
That was it. Just before I leave the pitch, I'm going to just give someone a dig just to get my own back.
Ziggy's there in the background meeting with fans, and Colorado Springs is starting to chip this ball around a little bit in the 66th minute. It was 3-1 at halftime. It remains so now. DeShane Beckford in the 17th, Haji Berry in the 22nd. Harris Briggs running through here. He scored in the 28th on an assist from Douglas Martinez. And then Edwards in the 32nd, the headed goal on a set piece. 3-1 Colorado Springs.
You can see that Real Monarchs are just sitting off switchbacks now. Just allowing them to play a little bit at the back. And then as soon as the switchbacks get in their half, and they drop very, very deep. This is what they're looking for, counter-attack possibilities.
Davis starting that. It's a long run for Weehan. Lakingila. And here come the switchbacks. Call it 3v3. Barry bounces out to Torres. The return to Beckford. Torres. Oh, it continues. Torres. Perhaps that would have been on frame, but that's a simple save for Dusnam.
There was lots of space for them to play in there, the switchbacks in that counter-attack. You're leaving yourself 3 against 3, Real Monarchs. It's risky, but they are 3-1 down. And again, credit to them for taking these risks, but they're going to get punished, you feel.
Malaise from Sobowale sets this up, sliding into the net. Galena from Beckford. Everything but the final touch.
Yeah, that's the danger. They're slugging it out, Real Monarchs, but you give opportunity, turnover ball and space for Beckford and Galena and Barry to play, and then they're going to hurt you. And so far, they haven't scored in this second half, but you feel a goal is coming for the switchbacks.
Galena's got 3 goals, 5 assists this year. He's yet to score tonight. But he's working on something. Advantage played, Beckford. Advantage runs out, Mahoney.
I think it was Makangila got kicked off the ball there. And he's struggling to get back up.
Yeah, it is.
I think he's complaining, saying that it should have been perhaps a free kick. But I think the referee was just waving play on Hector Hernandez. Makangila says he's fine, just testing his leg. Seems to be working okay.
Corner is away. And will they do it again? Yes. This corner is brought to you by McDivitt Law Firm. We're in your corner. And it's short. It's Torres. Delivers. Edwards.
Not the best of passes there from Edwards, but again, short corner. Real Monarchs allowing it to happen, not keeping an eye on things. You've got to stay tight in defense against a switchback side.
First change here for the Switchbacks. What a performance by Jose Torres. This substitution is brought to you by William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblecenter.org. Philip Mayaka replaces Torres.
Mayaka, such a good player. Bear in mind, Zachary Zandi's still injured. He's their normal, regular midfielder. So they really have got a nice deep squad at the moment. But Philip Mayaka, 20 years of age, the Kenyan from East Africa, or East African origin. And such a hard-working player, covers so much ground.
Third overall pick, the MLS Super Draft by the Colorado Rapids. Bodie Davis crossing for Martinez. Melvin came out, didn't entirely get that. And Martinez watched it roll right by.
But Melvin might have done just enough to put Martinez off. Such a good ball there from Bodie Davis. You fancy someone like Douglas Martinez to get on the end of it. Maybe the fact that Sean Melvin was coming flying out just put him off, in which case, good goalkeeping.
This has been a strong performance by Colorado Springs. Sure, a couple of leaks along the way in the back, but they've set the tone of this game and have rolled it all the way through into the 71st minute now. If you're Brendan Burke, you have to be much more enthused by this performance, more on brand than what came out of the Orange County game.
Oh, absolutely. He's very happy with this. I mean, there'll be areas to improve, of course. And that first goal, where you haven't got a single defender on Briggs, there's be some question marks about that. But otherwise, it's been a very good afternoon so far.
Service with a header, and oh, Melvin puts this out.
He's having a great game, the goalkeeper. Absolutely brilliant save there. The fans appreciating it as well. He's made about 4 or 5 vital saves, including that 1-versus-1 in the first couple of minutes against Martinez. No powder with the ball in. Good head, I think, from Briggs. Good save from the keeper.
Powder, Melvin.
Fans are loving it, aren't they? 4 goals in this match, a ton of opportunities, both sides. Exciting football to enjoy.
The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com.
Bodie Davis just overhitting that ball in. I think the tactic obviously now for Real Monarchs is we need to put balls in the box. We need to find 2 goals. Time is running out. Pressure is what we need to apply, and the simplest way to apply pressure is just to knock high balls in the box and see what drops down. They've got a big man up front in Briggs, and they've got someone who's pacey in Douglas Martinez. It's just a case of getting the ball to them.
Saucedo, throw. A very happy 4th of July wherever you're watching. This is such a proud city with military Air Force history, Colorado Springs. For fans watching around the country, the Air Force Academy located here, the tremendous chapel, and it's a breathtaking experience.
I actually have some experience of that myself. Before the World Cup in '86, the England squad was based in the Air Force camp. We did our training there for 3 weeks, altitude training.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. You didn't know that, did you?
And even our producer Karina can add to the equation here. Happy Independence Day. So have you been to the top of Pikes Peak? Did you do the whole thing? Or?
No, we were based on camp, weren't allowed out, but we did all the diving through tunnels that they do there for the Air Force training. It was amazing, great experience.
Who was your coach?
Back then, it was Bobby Robson, Sir Bobby Robson.
Yeah.
Took us to the World Cup, where those younger people will know only one thing from that World Cup. Maradona scored a goal with his hand against England in the quarterfinals and knocked us out.
I was going to say, the one thing we knew is it did not come home.
Yeah, could be coming home now, though, just saying.
Semi-final against the Danes, correct?
Got a fancy England, good side.
You and I were watching a false news report, fake news, you may call it, about the ongoing excitement of the English people as this gets fired out altogether, about talking all the way back in the quarterfinals about the path to victory.
It was actually a fun thing done by the Irish news, saying to stay away from English people right now. They're a pain. From the Scots and the Irish and the Welsh, just don't hang out with English people. All they're going to do is talk about we're bringing it home again. But there's 15 minutes left. Just going back to this, and Real Monarchs have got to do something now. Gets more and more desperate, and again, credit them for attacking. They've taken risks at the back. They haven't been punished, which is, I guess, if you're to be really picky, if you're Brendan Burke, you're going to say to the likes of Haji Barry and Beckford and Galina, guys, you should have maybe taken an opportunity or two to kill this game. But credit Real Monarchs for having a go in the second half and putting themselves in a situation where they're still in this match as we go into the last 15 minutes.
Well, Galina has put the work in, and Yaya Toure will come on to try and finish the job. The substitution is brought to you by the William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblecenter.org. He doesn't get a goal, but if he didn't do a little bit of everything else.
I thought he was so good tonight that a lot of MLS teams will be saying we need to have a closer look at this guy. His pace, his ability to leave defenders for dead in the box. You pay millions for that. And he's got that in abundance.
Mahoney, Melvin.
Free kick taken too quickly. Victor Hernandez wants the ball still.
By the way, you mentioned the injury already to Zach Zandy. He's not the only one who's out. Tristan Hodge is away with Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday. If they win, they will continue into the Gold Cup group stage. They're in qualifying in Fort Lauderdale. Good luck to Tristan Hodge. If they win that game, he may well be gone for a while, but for a good cause.
Yep, and it has been a problem, that left-back position for the Switchbacks. Mahoney's there now. Anderson's had a spell there. Batista had a spell, and he got sent off. Burt has played there. And more recently, Tristan Hodge. So they've had 4 or 5 different left-backs in the course of the season.
Oh, look at this. Ball screaming across. And lifted out now by Anderson. It's Toure fresh into the game, and those fresh legs had a blast at it.
Well, he's already scored in recent games. Yaya Toure, 90th minute strike that gave them a 3-2 win over Austin Bold. You can see here, loves that left foot, gets it on target. Decent save there from Jeffrey Dusnip.
By the way, Hodge featured against Montserrat, 6-1. Trinidad and Tobago win. They will face French Guiana. Fans of the league may know Thomas Van Kezel for San Diego is playing for French Guiana in the qualifiers for Gold Cup. That left back job, Mahoney's slotted in here a little bit these past few games, and so far so good. Down a little bit there, and an injured player down Injury stoppages are brought to you by Censura Health.
I did ask the question in the first half whether Real Monarchs could get a bit more ugly and physical, and they certainly have. In the second half, they've got stuck in. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do or a pleasant thing, but they were just getting pushed around a little bit too easily in the first half, and they've come out fighting in the second half and made a real fist of it. Some borderline decisions in terms of tackles, but at least they've shown a desire to fight for the Real Monarchs cause.
This free kick scoring opportunity is brought to you by the Joint Chiropractic. We've got your back. Anderson.
Duznip a little bit lucky. The young goalkeeper came searching for that ball, didn't get it. If any of those switchback players got a touch on it, it would have been in the back of the net.
Gary, you were playing as a young man, and this is oftentimes a more mature man's game, being a goalkeeper. Primes are often called 5 years later than the field players, but you also get to play a lot longer, and you certainly did. How much did games at an early age help versus at times hinder that improvement from you as a goalkeeper?
It generally helps, but you have to watch very carefully. And if the goalkeeper gets under too much pressure, concede too many goals, you've got to pull them out, let them mature a bit more and put them back. But Jeffrey Duznip looks a really good keeper. And yes, he's going to get bumped around by much older men, but that's how you improve. And as a coach, but the point you raise is a very valid point. With any youngster, no matter what position, but especially in goals, you've got to watch and see, and if they're under too much pressure, things are going wrong, maybe a couple of dodgy newspaper articles, which as a young player, your friends read and you get upset about, then just pull them out, take the pressure off and bring them back in again later in the season.
Think about some of the Olympic qualifying goalkeepers, so the younger goalkeepers in the American national team pool right now. As this is a good run forward that's broken up from Bodie Davis. Davis may get another look at this. Davis got tugged around, and referees saying go on ahead. And here comes Torre. Torre!
Tackle from behind is going to be a yellow card, I would think. Yeah. But it had to be done. It's a professional foul. Took one for the team there because he was gone. Torre.
All right, so step one is to place the ball. Step two is to show a yellow card here to Timmy Sobowale. Did spend 4 years at Manchester City in their academy.
He knew the team were in trouble. You could see Kyle Adams was backtracking furiously, and to say, took one for the team, hasn't argued it. Knew that it was the right thing that he had to do, just to slow down the Switchbacks counter-attack. But yeah, he's also was in the Ireland U17 squad.
Yeah, yellow card issued to Sobowale. Sponsored by Diversus Health, mental health and well-being for all. Remember to take a moment to breathe.
That's 4 yellow cards, all for the visitors. Hamas and Olave's players, 4 yellows, none for the Switchbacks so far.
This free kick scoring opportunity is brought to you by the Joint Chiropractic. We've got your back. Anderson and Barry. Barry steps over. It's Anderson into the wall, and it bounces into Duznip. Well, Duznip is saying, hey, I was impeded, and yes, there's going to be a card to Mahoney.
Just when I said they haven't got a yellow card, he gets one. And the rule is you cannot impede a goalkeeper. And much as Mahoney said, I didn't mean to. Yeah, of course he meant to. You can see where the goalkeeper is. And I think the referees just say, hey, you get in the goalkeeper's way when he's trying to distribute. You're denying him the chance to set up a counter-attack. That's going to earn you a yellow card.
So much for altruism. You're just in the belief everyone's out to get one another, huh?
Professionalism. Matt Mahoney will say he was just slowing things down, stopping the goalkeeper, starting a quick counter-attack.
This will be Darren Yappe's 3rd appearance for Colorado Springs. They brought on Andre Lewis as well. And a lot of applause right now. That's enough for Haji Berry as well. Job well done. He's back on the score sheet. for 8 games out of 9. He had a chance at history against Orange County. Chance to tie his own record, longest goal-scoring streak in league history. It was 7, and he came up 1 game short. And Martinez is brought down. There'll be a free kick to come. The substitutions were brought to you by William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblecenter.org.
Andre Lewis just slowing things down. That'll be his job now. Last few minutes just to see this game out. Fresh legs, fresh mind. Try and just block all the avenues for Rail Monarchs getting back in this game.
Noah Powder has an absolute cannon.
If that New Mexico United match is any match to go by, okay, not the same. He hit it similarly, and he went up and down, left and right, and ended up in the top corner. That one didn't quite follow the same route.
It went up and then up and then up.
Yeah, there was no down. He knows. But you know what? After that last goal he scored, he was allowed another try. But from now on, he's going to have to be a little bit more accurate. Crowd are happy. Yeah, this is Brendan Burke's right. This is a real team, Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Not only should they get to the playoffs, but they should go a long way in the playoffs. And with that front three, nothing says they can't win the tournament this year.
And look, to reiterate, I've never seen Colorado Springs come together and support this team this way. Never. This is a side that made runs under Steve Trichu long ago. Ball across, chance there, quickly broken up in front of Yappy.
I think one of the reasons why, obviously, is they're playing exciting football. They've got such pace. They attack, they go for teams, they score goals. It's, as you said, only 2 teams have scored more goals in them this season, Louisville City and Phoenix Rising. They're fun to watch, and you get value for your money.
Well, then you get this. Numbers all pouring forward. Martinez brought down. There's the whistle. Where was it?
Penalty.
He is pointing, and there is a yellow card to boot. Monarchs can make a game of this now.
That's a fantastic counter-attack by the Monarchs. Absolutely brilliant. Running at pace. Should there be a tackle at all? Should not just stand up, but Martinez is so quick. It looked like it started outside the box. Did it continue from Michael Edwards into the box? Did he need to actually have to make the tackle? Why not just stand up? Doesn't get the ball. And referee's got to make an immediate decision. Hard to see if it's in or out. Hector Hernandez says it's in. Michael Edwards says it's out. But maybe Michael Edwards will look at that again and go, just stay on my feet, lean into the striker, make it difficult for him to hit the ball.
Yellow card is sponsored by Diversus Health, mental health and well-being for all. Remember to take a moment to breathe. That's Edwards into the book. Explain this, referee having that conversation. Stay on the line, right?
Yep, stay on the line, keep one foot on the line.
Noah Powder can pull Monarchs back within 1. Melvin stopped it. The desperation on the face of Noah Powder. The extraordinary cheer from Widener Field. And Melvin pushes this out. It's a corner.
That's a fantastic save as well, because he's hit that. Noah Powder, he's really put some effort behind it. The goalkeeper's made the save and pushed it away from trouble as well. What a match he's having.
Corner is away. Davis. Davis. This game a sterling example of something worth having never comes easy. There's 3 points on the line. Numerous shirts going to ground here. Monarchs will continue. And it's chipped across. That's cleared. Ball in from Quintero.
That was the chance though, wasn't it? 3-2 with minutes left. They were back in the game. What fantastic save. Not a bad penalty from Noah Powder. Just an absolutely brilliant save from Sean Melvin. And you fancy that chance, means it's all over. Now it's a counter-attack possibility.
Beckford. Beckford setting up Yappy.
Yappy just couldn't get enough on that ball. The idea was good, turned his body, but no power behind it.
Martinez. Martinez early. Melvin.
Man of the match, Melvin. You can point to the forwards and say how good Hadji Barry was, and Galina, of course, as always, and Beckford, but that goalkeeper made a ton of saves, starting in the 2nd or 3rd minute. One-on-one against Douglas Martinez. He's made a couple of other saves. He's made a penalty save. He's tipped them over the crossbar. He's come out punching at players' feet. Fantastic match from Sean Melvin. He certainly gets my vote as man of the match.
Mahoney. Give a lot of credit right now to Real Monarchs. They have not laid down. I have seen teams go into atmospheres like this on holiday weekends. It's buzzing. There are fireworks at the end of the night. No one's leaving. An early goal or two, and it all falls apart. And they never allowed that to occur. Yappy. Yappy! Dusnap.
No one there for Yappy to play to. He just needed somebody in the box there, and Andre Lewis couldn't get in time.
Back into the penalty area. Contact galore toward Lewis. Feel for a handball it was. It's an offensive handball at that, so heading the other way.
Just to pick up on your point about Real Monarchs, they have been fantastic. They have been positive. They have gone at the switchbacks. They've taken risks, yes. They've had opportunities, though, to have at least got themselves back in the match. Miyaka with a yellow card. And it's wonderful entertainment. Credit Hammerson Olave for sending his team out second half. He said, get stuck in, I'm sure, because they got more physical, and attack, and just try and get back and defend when you can. It's that very delicate balance of getting numbers back to defend, but then being able to push them forward and attack. And they really have given it their absolute everything. And that penalty save was their big moment. And Sean Melvin stopped them from getting back into this match.
Stoppage time is brought to you by the TikTok shop. We're a minute into 3. Philip Mayaka picking up the caution, sponsored by Diversis Health. Mental health and well-being for all. Remember, take a moment to breathe. And if you didn't know, it is a Pepsi corner. Pepsi, that's what I like. Ball across and the header is out.
That's it now. It's just winding down the clock for the switchbacks. So you look at Real Monarchs, and yes, they're now still stuck to the bottom of the table as Saucedo works his way back. But they put up such a good fight that there's still a chance for them yet this season if they can really get it together in the next couple of matches.
Gary, did you not hear the PA announcer announce the player of the match?
And was?
All that cheering was for Melvin. He
yes.
did it.
Sorry, I was just busy concentrating on the point I was making.
I thought your goalkeeper union's spidey sense would tingle. They're cheering for him. I can feel it.
Fantastic. What a game he's had. And you know what, so often as keepers we get overlooked because it's the one goal scored that wins the match, that gathers all the kudos. But you can't ignore the penalty save and all the other saves he's made, Melvin. Fantastic evening's work by him.
Is there more here for Colorado Springs? They want to have that one last burst before they start shooting fireworks up here in downtown Colorado Springs.
Just looking at, we're talking about Real Monarchs, how well they've played. Well, they've got a home match against El Paso. That's not easy. They're away at Austin Bold, home against Las Vegas. None of those easy. But if they keep playing like this, there's a possibility of getting some points and working their way up the table.
This corner kick is brought to you by Pikes Peak National Bank. Bank well, be well, cheer loud. There's the full-time whistle. And what a performance on the 4th of July by Colorado Springs. This crowd was amped from the beginning. Even Ziggy loves it. 3-1, Colorado Springs over Real Monarchs. And up the Mountain Division table they go.
Yeah, it's a place to come and watch soccer at the moment, isn't it, for all those living in the area? Such fun, such a great vibe, wonderful stadium, and Brendan Burke has put together the most exciting team with the three up front, but it's the goalkeeper who gets the awards for an incredible match. I guess if you're to be picky, Brendan Burke will say, well, I worry when my goalkeeper's man of the match. It means that we've given them too many opportunities, but you can't stop every team attacking you, and he gets all the hugs as he so deserves. Sean Melvin.
The votes are in. The Better Business Bureau man of the match. Read verified customer reviews and check business ratings at bbb.org. Melvin, some tremendous saves, including one on a penalty. We'll take a look at the critical moment of the match. And of many, we chose one. It's brought to you by Centura Health. It's the third goal. This really felt like it was a dagger before half.
It certainly was. At 2-1, the match was very close, but poor organizational defending by Monarchs, and Michael Edwards, brave, reads it well, sprints into that near post position. And you're right, at 3-1, it really was a mountain for Real Monarchs to climb.
Well, Melvin and the Switchbacks grab an all-important 3 points here, get back on the winning side of the ledger. Post-game brought to you by Centura Health begins when we return here to Colorado Springs. It's rocking downtown. Switchbacks 3, Monarchs 1. Wrap up after this.
Do you have control? Our justice system is fundamentally broken.
We fought to save this football program, but now there's something bigger to fight for. If we do nothing,
This game is brought to you by Centura Health. Melvin and the Switchbacks 3, Monarchs 1. Mike Watts and the longtime goalkeeper at Man United, Gary Bailey, sticking up for his boy. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights here as the Switchbacks jumped out early here. Could have been a very different game. Highlights are brought to you by Phil Long. 16th minute after Monarchs had gotten the best chance in the opening quarter hour.
Shane Beckford just redirects the ball. Galina hits it first time. Before any defenders get set, they haven't got time to pick up on Beckford, and he just redirects it into the corner. Good finish.
5 minutes later, Haji Berry did not score for a record-breaking streak against Orange County. Does score tonight.
Beckford again, this time the assist. Waits, picks his moment perfectly, lays it on a platter for Haji Berry.
2-0, but the response from Real Monarchs. Martinez, Briggs, 2-1.
Yes, an unmarked Briggs in the box. When he gets a ball like that and you keep it a beat, no problem, they're back in the game.